one guy that's actually hitting his stride is Riley Green. He's the only feared hitter in this lineup, I would say. Outside of Riley Green, do you actually see a keeper on this team when they make the playoffs when it comes to their lineup?
I get asked about that a lot. It's actually a tough question to answer because on paper, I see what their core should look like. It should be Riley Green, Justin Henry Malloy, Colt Keith. I mean, if you want to throw Torkelson to the side, I understand that. But you have a few guys down in the minors as well. Jace Young in the long term, Kevin McGonigal, Max Clark. But, sometimes we have a tendency to put the cart before the horse because the only one of those guys that I've named that has hit at the big league level is Riley. Now, in some instances, like Jace Young or some of the guys I brought up, they haven't seen the big leagues yet. But we came to this year saying, well, Colt Keith is part of the core. Is he? I mean, Colt Keith has a 500-something OPS. So right now, offensively, I think there's guys you can look at in the pitching staff and say, okay, part of the plan here, guys like Reese Olson, maybe some of the pieces of the bullpen. But honestly, right now, to me, I'm not declaring a guy as a part of the future. I'm not declaring a guy as being a part of the core unless I see him consistently produce at the big league level. Riley Green has come along the way that you hope a top prospect will come along. The power numbers have developed. He has cut down. There is still swing and miss in his game, but he has cut down on that. Besides that, there's nobody right now in this lineup in terms of the young guys that I look at and say, okay, that's definite. Now, literally in a few weeks, I could feel totally different. Let's say Keith gets hot. Let's say Justin Henry Malloy starts to adjust to big league pitching. But, a few years ago, we were getting asked those same questions, and we were under the assumption that Torkelson and Daz Cameron and some of these other guys were gonna hit, and a lot of them didn't make it. There's been kind of a consistent theme here when it comes to position players, is that guys they get hyped up, but ultimately they kind of fall short. There needs to be a proven track record for me to feel better about what the future is going to look like.